welcome to Clove Room, and welcome to the first overhead video of Clovemas. Let's say of the what? Of Clovemas. I'm hoping this is just going to be a relaxing celebration of some of my most cherished products this year. This isn't kind of a traditional yearly favorites video. I don't have something for every category. I just picked an arbitrary number, 9, which is my favorite number probably. And I said, what are the 9 items in my makeup collection that I really loved throughout this year and that I have really cherished. There's some recency bias. Some of these I've purchased more recently than others, but for the most part, I did try to make sure that these were items I loved for most of the year. You'll see some wear on some of them, which is really exciting, and you'll probably recognize a lot of them because my channel isn't a channel that is constantly using new products. I really try to use my favorites, try to be consistent with them, because once I love something, I want to use it as much as possible, use it up, get the value out of it, and also get all the enjoyment I can out of it before it potentially expires or, my preferences change. So if you are new here, welcome. This is Clovemas. It's my little version of Vlogmas. I am trying to upload most days in December. I just have had 3 days in a row of uploads. This one might be the 4th, or it might be early on the next day, so not a consecutive upload. But I'm having a lot of fun making content for y'all. I'm having a lot of fun talking to y'all in the comments, and I'm having a lot of fun just building this YouTube project out. And I just wanted to say a couple of quick things on my nails, on my beautiful little nails. Don't look too hard, but I did end up putting Blitzen from Olive and June from the last video I did, the Advent Calendar video. I did end up applying that a few hours ago. I quite love the color, actually. I was about to say like, but I really do love the color. I think it's like a really, I'm trying to get like what's the best light. I don't know if that like fully showcases it. Let me see. Ooh. Okay, now I feel like I'm like an awkward jellyfish. I do really love it. And then this pouch I'm using, okay, this is funny. 2 videos in a row, rather, I featured gifts from my mom, but my mom actually got me this Elizabeth Scarlett pouch and also another Elizabeth Scarlett bag. The other one I have is a blue elephant bag that I absolutely love and adore, and I've started to use them both because I just had them in storage last year. She got them for me for last Christmas. I was like, I don't want to use them, they're so gorgeous, but if I don't use them, then I won't get the enjoyment. Kind of like what I was saying, like I want to get enjoyment and use out of the things I love. So I really love that elephant makeup bag, and then this Joy pouch I absolutely adore. It's very obviously Christmassy. And then I love it especially because my granny's name, my mom's mom, her name was Joy. And if I had to pick a favorite person of all time, it'd be her. I love her so much. And she did pass away a few years ago, so I miss her a lot, especially this time of year. And I just, I love how this pouch reminds me of her. So my 9 most cherished products from this year are in this bag, and I'm just going to pull them out, talk to y'all about them, maybe do some swatches. And I'm hoping to do a video later on in Clovemas there's probably several videos where I'm actually going to be, applying makeup. I've gotten a lot of compliments so far on my makeup, which I really appreciate. I'm going to show y'all how I'm doing my makeup now, and then I'm sure I'm going to, try. I'm going to do my best to feature all of these products and do demos with them in later videos, but I just wanted to do some overhead content this week. So, first product is one you've definitely seen before. I think was even in last year's favorite makeup of the year video. This is the Gucci bronzer. This is, I believe, the lightest shade 01. Mine, I've had it for like a year or two now, and this year I finally hit pan. I have pretty significant pan on it now, which is really exciting. Again, in that effort to actually use up my products. And this product is just perfect. It's not baked or anything. It's just a pressed powder, but it's rosier than a lot of bronzers you will find on the market. And I don't have particular pink undertones. I have found that my suspicion, I suppose, is that I'm more of a golden neutral undertone. I do feel like more pink comes out when I don't have as much of a tan, but I do tan pretty easily if I'm out in the sun. And, for me, not like significantly, but my skin does get darker and more golden when I'm in the sun. But I still find this bronzer works really well for me all year round. It's beautiful to layer on top of creams or to set things with. It's also just beautiful on its own. It can definitely be more of a bronzer vibe. And it's just gorgeous, and obviously I've gotten quite a bit of use out of it. I love the compact, even though it's a little bit lighter and feels not quite as luxurious as you would maybe hope. I just think it's so beautiful. I love the Gucci blue or green. I feel like that could be a debate on whether this is green or blue. I feel like it's blue, right? Maybe green. I don't know. Who cares? I still have the little brush I've never used under it. I just absolutely adore this product, and I'm so excited I've gotten so much use out of it this year. I've actually kind of cooled it on this, not because I want to save it. I do want to end up using it because I feel like, I've had it for a couple of years. It's definitely getting older. I haven't noticed any changes in performance or anything like that. But I really just was not using any other of my bronzers, so I put it back in storage for a bit. But now that I'm pulling it out for this video, I definitely wanting to start using it again. Alright, this one is one that is newer to me and is definitely maybe recency bias, but I just had to put it in because I think if you ask me what's your favorite product that's come into your collection this year, it would actually be this. Because it actually is so utilitarian and useful for my greatest complexion concern. So this is the NYX Pro Fix Correcting Concealer, and I have it in the shade, I think it's just pink. Yes, it's one of their corrector shades. They have a lot of skin tone shades in this range, but then also corrector shades. This is a stunning formula because it is, first of all, it's cream based, which I feel like automatically makes it kind of harder to make it look natural and blend in with the skin and make it not look heavy. A lot of cream complexion products, like that Merit stick. I always go back to how much I hate the Merit complexion stick, but I feel like it's important. I really don't like it, and it looked so bad on my skin, and that kind of made me hesitate when it came to cream complexion makeup. But I got this on a whim at Ulta, an impulse purchase. Probably, in theory, not the best. But I think I've used about half of it up. I don't have a ton left. I actually thought about buying backups during Black Friday, which you know how I feel about backups. I don't like backups, but I'm now in grave concern that they will discontinue this product. And usually, I've said in a makeup unpopular opinions video before, discontinuing a product I don't think is a mortal sin. I think brands should be allowed to iterate. But this, and I haven't told you the great thing that it does for me. I have never had a product correct my stubble and facial hair better in my life. I also have, this product came into my life after I started laser hair removal, so that may be part of it. My hair is not as thick and coarse as it once was, but still, this tone and this formula lays so beautifully on stubble when I have freshly shaved, when I haven't, and it sets down very, very quickly without looking dry somehow, and anything I put on top, and I mean, if I put like a super oily, dewy product on top, it might interfere just because of the product I'm putting on top, but it stays so neutral and lovely that any other complexion product I want to put on top usually lays quite well on top of it. And it also is a wonderful under eye corrector. It kind of can do anything I would want a color corrector to do. It has kind of my preferred finish right now, which is soft matte, but without looking at all dry. The pink isn't too light or too bright, but it does correct the dark tones on my particular skin tone perfectly. And I can wear this, I wear this for everything. Like, I can wear this on low coverage days. Even if I don't want to go through the trouble of correcting my stubble, I will just wear this under my eyes as a concealer, not put anything on it, and it looks natural and like I don't have any product on, but I can really build it up to totally, maybe not completely, because it's, you're never going to totally correct, thick facial stubble, but I've never gotten as close as I can with this product. It can go glam, it can go no makeup. It is so stunning. I've almost bought skin tone shades at this point because I love the formula so much, but I want to use up a couple of other complexion products before I buy this. But I will probably use this up in a month or two because I use it so much, and I will probably buy 2 or 3 at that point, or maybe I'll wait for like a NYX sale. But I never want to not have this product. It is perfect, and I cherish it for its practicality, which is not always the case. One I have talked about recently, and one I, am well documented loving is this Makeup by Mario Master Matte's The Neutral palette. Mine is a little dirty, and that's because it is well loved at this point. I think I'm pretty close to hitting pan in, maybe this way will be better, hitting pan in quite a few of the shades. I just love it. The tones are so perfect. The formula is beautiful, buildable, blurring, but can go high pigment, high glam, can also go very soft. This black is so great for layering on a liquid liner, for just doing a smoky wing on its own. I love these tones. This is a dark brown that can go very dark brown, but also can go very sheer and kind of whimsical smoky. All these tones are such great kind of crease contouring shades for me. I love, as you can probably see, this rosy cool tone shade. I was using that a lot, I think earlier this year, and I still use it a good bit now, but I'm sure I'm going to start hitting pan on this palette soon if I keep up my use on it, but that's the thing, it's not something that I have to make myself use at all. It's what day to day, if I don't have another idea of something to do with another palette, I will just automatically reach for this palette when I start doing my eye makeup, because even if I want to go off in a totally different direction, this builds such a beautiful foundation to any eye look. And not just that, I actually love this packaging. This mirror is great. It's the perfect size palette and mirror to hold while you do makeup. I've used this to do my entire face when I've had to do car makeup at work, or like I needed to leave, but when I got to work I wanted to put on some makeup, so I did it in my car. It's perfect for that. I've, used this in hotel rooms to do my makeup, and it's just like that kind of perfect mirror. It fits in my hand really well. The mirror's large enough, but also it's kind of small. It's pretty slim, so it's really easy to just stow in a makeup bag. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's a perfect product. All right, another luxury product. This is the Valentino Eye to Cheek Dual Use Blush and Shadow in the shade 3. I think there's also another shade name for this that's like Rose something. This is one that I was actually... It's interesting. I thought to swatch it at Sephora because my friend Tom, Homeless Tom, loved it so much and raved about it. And I wasn't even wanting to really buy it, but I was in a Sephora kind of just meandering around as you do in a Sephora when you're a makeup lover, and I was, I saw the Valentino display and I was like, oh, Tom has talked about recently how much they like this blush from Valentino. And I swatched it and I bought it. Again, another impulse purchase, which again, is not something I usually encourage, but in this case, it's something that has brought me a lot of joy. I think this formula is really gorgeous. It's like I think it's baked, or maybe it's just like a mineralized, pearlized pressed powder, but it is this beautiful formula. It can go on quite pigmented, but it does blend out quite well. The shade is sort of like a fair bitten lilac berry with a somewhat subtle, but in certain lights, like right now I can really see it, and it's really prominent, somewhat subtle but prominent bronzy gold shift, like really, it's like almost like a yellow gold shift, I guess. But on the cheek, it achieves that bitten berry look, especially for my skin tone, quite well. But then that flip in it helps it give also this warm glow, and it just looks so healthy and beautiful and femme. And it's just, I love it. I mean, and it feels luxurious, even though this packaging is, again, like, it's like this plastic. Even though it looks very pretty, it does feel a little cheapy, but I do love it. I don't think you can get this specific colorway in the packaging anymore, because I believe this was limited edition for last holiday, but I believe you can still get this shade in the traditional red Valentino packaging. I absolutely love and adore this. I really only use it as a blush. I have used it to start eye looks, and it does as nice as any other powder blush, but I do quite adore that. Alright, another powdered cheek product that I absolutely adore is this r.e.m Beauty, let's see, highlighter topper. So they call it like a highlighter topper in the shade Miss Mirror. In the shade Wow, I really have trouble saying that word. In the shade Miss Mercury. I sometimes have trouble with M words. Fun fact. I know that's probably not like super aesthetic, relaxing overhead video talk, but I sometimes have a lot of trouble saying M words. So apologies. Miss Mercury. Mercury. All right, we're gonna move on, but that's the shade name. This is my favorite powder highlighter of all time. I just love it. It's maybe a little bit darker than I would have pictured for my favorite highlighter of all time, but I think because of its sheer nature, it doesn't look too casty on me. I have a pretty prominent dip. I think I'll hit pan somewhat soon. I've somewhat cooled on using this because it is a little bit more warm toned than some of the looks I'm doing right now, and I am at my fairest, but it's just stunning. In my last video, when I looked really glowy and I was talking about my powder highlighter, this is what I was wearing. But it doesn't have to always look that wham bam. It can look very, very subtle and just like a beautiful glow. I just adore it. I love this packaging. I love this shade. It's like the lightest a gold could go. And it has a little bit of that champagne in it, but I really feel like it does lean more in the realm of like a very, very, very fair gold than a traditional champagne. I feel like it has less white, and I love it. I just love it as a face highlighter. I do understand why they say highlighter topper, because I don't think the base is super prominent in this, and I actually don't love it as much as like an inner corner highlight as I do some of my other powder highlights. But as a face highlighter, especially as a nose highlighter, this is the perfect nose highlighter. Fun fact. At least for me. And I don't know, I really do like this brand. I really love Ariana Grande too. There's definitely a bit of that involved in my love of this product as well. Alright, a complexion product that I absolutely adored this year is this Ilia complexion stick. As I mentioned earlier, the Merit Perfecting Skin Stick, or whatever that awfulness is called, works great for some people. It just doesn't work for me. It turned me off from cream stick products for a bit. Obviously, I love the NYX, but before the NYX was the Ilia, and I use them for very different things as well. I have the shade 2C in this, which is actually a little too light and too pink for me, but I do love it as a brightening shade, and it sort of also helps some with correction of, stubble, under eye darkness. I wear it less as an overall complexion or all over complexion product, and more to brighten, to add coverage to my stubble area. This plus the NYX is a gorgeous combination. That's probably my favorite glam combination, and it looks amazing on camera. I feel like when I wear this and my NYX product, that's when my makeup looks best on camera. It also looks really good in real life as well, but I just love this. I love the packaging. It's very subtle, but has like this little divot in the side, and it feels really sturdy. I love the touch of this plastic part matching the shade of the product inside. It's actually reminds me a lot of the NYX, or the NYX reminds me of this rather. It is a beautiful soft matte finish, not at all too dewy, does not sit heavy on the skin, but also does not dry my skin out. I do need to make sure I do a good amount of, or not a good amount, but just proper skin prep before using this. I think without skin prep, this doesn't have as quite enough, hydration packed in, but, when I use my favorite, toner and SPF with this, it works beautifully, and I just absolutely love this. This is quite expensive for what it is. I have used it a ton though, and I mean, you can definitely see the use, but there's still quite a bit of product in this. I think it has more product than the Merit. Not to compare two clean beauty girls against each other, but yeah, I absolutely love this product. I've thought about buying one that's in a more skin tone matching shade, but this is quite expensive for what it is. So I just want to enjoy this for what it is, and I love it. It's great to pack on trips as well, and I really, really cherish it. It's just a really gorgeous product to interact with. Alright, next is this Hourglass face palette. This is last year's, or one of last year's face palettes. It's in the jellyfish packaging and that colorway, the jellyfish colorway. Oh gosh, I really like the bronzer in here. I love the blushes. The highlighter I like more as an inner corner shade and a brow bone highlight and even an eyeshadow than I do a face highlight, although I will use it as a face highlight. And I love this product in its totality. I love the, like, how it, like I love interacting with the packaging. I think it's really pretty. Again, this is not as great as the Makeup by Mario mirror to use on the go, but I have used it on the go and it does quite nicely. And it's so multi-use. I brought this home for Thanksgiving and it was so great to just bring this for, like, the powders and the bronze. Like, it's saved so much, not just space in my makeup bag, but like complication, in that I just grabbed this when I got to like my cheek and powder steps and it made things so much easier. But I really, really wanted to highlight this because I love both these finishing powders. They've really changed how I view powder and how I view perfecting and blurring. They just add the most beautiful, soft, matte, ethereal glow look to the skin. Especially when I finish a glam routine with them, that's when I get complimented on my skin the most. I've been told my skin looks perfect after finishing with these powders. And the one you can tell I probably have the most use on is this brighter white shade. I love this shade because it's such an effective product for me. It blurs the under eyes and brightens the under eyes beautifully. But it also changed my mind on how I like to do my makeup, which is why I really cherish this palette. It made me realize I do like kind of like the power of contrast in your complexion routine. I was always somebody who didn't like to brighten under my eyes. I didn't like to brighten around my face. It just, wasn't for me. I like just had different preferences, and preferences obviously change. And this kind of allowed me to see the power of brightening certain areas of my face. And I don't even know if it like really is a traditional way to read more feminine, but to me it makes me feel a little bit more femme, a little bit more pretty, and it's just, I don't know, it's really just made my complexion routine a lot more enjoyable, and it's made me appreciate the result a lot more, and I quite cherish it for that reason. But again, also in its totality, I really just love it. It was a gift from my friend and subscriber, Nicole, Majestic Beast Beauty on Instagram. And, she said she wasn't going to use it. And there's definitely been periods when I haven't used it as much. And, with face palettes, it can be hard to make sure that you're using them. Because like I said, obviously there's products in here that I prefer more than others. But it always ends up coming back into the rotation, and it made me also realize that I do quite like face palettes. So I love, love, love this product. It just makes me really happy, and it's very, very cherished. Alright, this is one I've talked about over and over and over again, and I will continue to. This is Phytosurgence Lunar Lightwave. They're very, very sparkly special, or one of their very, very sparkly sheer base special glitter shades. It's hard to swatch on camera and get the full effect. I wear this a lot as an inner corner highlighter, as a finishing shade. I will note with Phytosurgence shadows, you can sometimes get this hard pan in the product. I haven't done it with this one yet, but with other ones, I've just scraped it away with a spoolie and it's pretty much gone away. So this shade is just perfect. I just love it. Anytime I want a little bit more specialness to my eye look, I use this either all over the lid, either on the brow bone, inner corner, everywhere. Sometimes I just go everywhere with it. And it's perfect. It's the most beautiful, sheer, barely there, light peachy base, beautiful sparkles, a little bit of peach, a little bit of pink, a little bit of white, a little bit of blue. It is one of those products I am just always going to have in my collection. If it ever dries up, if I ever need to purchase another one, I absolutely will. I just love and cherish it, and I think it might have been in my favorites last year as well. And it may well be in, this type of video next year too. It's perfect. It's one of my favorite products of all time. And this is the last product in this video. It is one that has also entered my life a little bit more recently, but I'm allowing it because I love and cherish it so much, and I feel like for the holidays I had to put a red lipstick in here. This is the Milani, I believe it's called like something like the matte fetish lipstick, and it's in the shade Poppy. I love this red. This is my favorite red lipstick of all time, easily. It is like that beautiful traditional red, but it has blue in it, but it doesn't have so much blue that it pulls pink on me. It's perfect. It's perfect. And not just that, the formula is the best matte bullet lipstick formula I have ever tried, personally. I have a Lisa Eldridge matte lipstick. I think this is, for me, oh, don't go away. For me and my preferences, it is. I much prefer it. It is very pigmented, but it will blot out. It will build on itself beautifully. It is very, very matte, and it is very matte looking, but it will dry my lips out, but it doesn't absolutely dry them out. It gives me that bold matte finish without totally destroying my lips. The packaging is wonderful to interact with. It is plastic, but honestly, a lot of luxury and, prestige brands use the same type of packaging in their products that are much more expensive, readily accessible, and I just love it. And not just that, it lasts so long. I have eaten meals, drank tons of coffee at work, and I still will have this on. Again, recently I wore my Lisa Eldridge matte lipstick to work, and it did not last nearly as long through those trials and tribulations of being a barista. I have two other shades. I forget the names of the other ones that I have, but I will put them in the description box along with listing this. One is a beautiful, perfect mid-tone chocolatey brown. The other is my dream nude. I don't know. I just feel like it's rare to find a product that I love the formula, I love the colorways, and I love the price and accessibility. And I don't think I had mentioned how much I love this lipstick and this lipstick formula on my channel yet. And I wanted to because I have really cherished it. It's made me love wearing bold lipstick again. It's the red I was wearing in my last video, the advent calendar video. And I love and cherish it. Alright, these are my 9 most cherished products of the year, I suppose. I really do love them. I really am excited to use these every time I do my makeup. They're ones I want to get a ton of use out of. I have pans in some. I feel like I'm well on my way to pans in others. And I don't know, they make me really happy. So I do want to say, I'm not saying you all need to go out and buy any of this. If you do, I hope you do enjoy it, and I hope it's a good decision for you. But when I do types of videos like this, I really love to encourage you all to, instead of buying one of these, or 9 of, gosh, please don't buy all 9 of these, to look through your collection and be like, if I was going to make a similar video, what are the 9 products I would pull if I was going to make a similar Instagram post or reel? Things like that. I feel like doing things like that is so much more helpful than buying a bunch of new stuff. Love the products in your collection that make you feel how these products make me feel me. No, that was almost a really good line. Love the products in your collection that make you feel how these products make me feel. I think that was a better way of saying my point. I am not entirely sure though. Thank you all so much for watching. Like this video if you did enjoy it. Helps me a lot in the Wild Wild West of the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to see future uploads. And thanks y'all so much for being here. We're gonna be okay. Love y'all. Bye.